Yeah, you on Facebook?
Yeah, I have a Facebook.
And your name? Again?
I'm
Jason.
My name is Jason King. Is it recording right now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Hi,
You're
I'm
looking
Jason
good.
King.
Yeah. Jason, you say you are the musician, right?
Yeah, I'm a musician.
You're a composer.
Defense contractor as well.
Do you say that you act too?
No, I don't act. I write.
You write songs?
No, verbal. I mean, what is
Scripts?
it? Literary writing, actually.
Oh, okay.
And we also we've been looking into child sex traffickers over the last 3.5 years. There's a couple large rings connected to what they call the elite, and the reason I know this too is just the fact that I grew up with some of these people that joined, and my friends are essentially decimated. You know, I don't have very many friends left because most of them became Satanists in the Temple of Set. And the other one, and there's another ring roped in a couple of my friends that we call them the 17th name day ring. And I'm not going to go into too many details, but a lot of people know me for this. I've done a lot of work taking these people on. They had a lot of resources, and it's right here. I always tell people I'm not in Catella. Everyone knows where I am. When they want to know where I am, I'm one of a few places. None of these people scare me.
So you're not afraid to tell the truth
Not at
in
all.
public?
No, none of these people scare me at all. They have no problems intimidating kids or people that can't defend themselves.
Yeah, it's a bad thing.
As soon as you look them in the eyes, though, or if you show any bit of confidence, or even just kind of, I'm just not easily intimidated, and especially when there's lives at stake. There's kids and adults too. They've stolen everything from them, okay? These kids have had their whole lives, their names stolen from them. They've never given a name, not a real name.
So these are stories that you heard from people you knew?
First-hand, second-hand.
Yes.
A lot of it, third-hand, and what I've gleaned out.
You want to share some of the stories?
Not right now, because I'd have to talk to the victims themselves before. Honestly, but
are they still alive, or?
Yes, many of the ones that we can talk to, absolutely. But they've been inoperable for about 3.5 years, both of them. But they were they put a lot of resources into militia movements and that sort of thing, and on the other side, contract killers, that sort of thing. But we also had the NSA, CIA, and FBI looking into it at the same time, so it was sort of, I was kind of just stuck in the middle, and it's one of those things. I never worry about my safety. I'm always straight with people.
Yeah,
I don't have to lie.
What were the situations they were in to be victims?
What's that?
What were the situations they were in?
Living in large basements, essentially.
Which is?
Pimped out by adults. I'm sorry. Trafficked out as sex objects by adults, for adults, vicious ones, and some of those adults were murderers. And they had essentially baby farms. They kept under there. I'm sorry, I can't describe the depravity that I've heard of and seen. It's hair-raising, honestly, and people know. Too many people know right now, but they're usually people with security clearances and people in government, people higher up on the totem pole when it comes to intelligence, the intelligence community in particular, military intelligence, because some of these people were actively committing acts of war on the United States just by, my IP address runs through a Navy base, or it did. So when they hack my computer, and I think that's I didn't even check when that happened. I could tell you my IP address. You'd have to talk to me on Facebook. I'll give it to you. It's a static IP address. We don't pay for it, but it goes through a Navy base. So when they try to hack my computer, that's attacking the Pentagon. That's an act of war, as a matter of fact, among other things. And then there's other. So my internet data is constantly studied. I have a Twitter account. I have 0 followers.
You say internet dealer?
Huh?
Internet dealer?
No. My internet No, I have a Twitter. Twitter
Oh,
account.
so you do all the things your
Yeah,
own.
and I started just promoting my music. That was my whole thing, and I wrote a 220 pages of fiction novel. You can download that from Pirate Bay as well. But I wrote that in 2014. You know, and it was my third album is called The Fractured States. You can also download that. The Fractured States LP. Well, my novel.
By the way, I think I heard you saying you were taking a drug before. Are you free from it now?
Well, yeah. I mean, I was on heroin. That was very different.
Yeah. Did you get help? How did you do that? That's wonderful.
What's that?
That's wonderful. How did you
Well,
overcome it?
I don't have track marks anymore. I mean, I drink a lot of coffee, but sometimes I have to stay awake just to make sure that certain people are, safe, honestly.
So you said something about this Satanism, right?
Yeah, Temple of Set. And these people grew up around me, and I'm related to one person. Okay, my grandfather, Michael Evan King. He's not a good. I am related to some of the most evil people on the planet and some of the best people on the planet.
Why are you saying that?
Because Michael King, that was what they were known for at the time. They were impregnating women with slightly modified in vitro in utero. They're not cloning people, but they would slightly modify the sperm and egg, or possibly, I'm not sure. It's called Project Monarch.
Was he a scientist or something?
He's actually a child psychologist with a security clearance, and he was a pedophile.
But then he was experimental on people.
He was a doctor. He was Dr. Michael King, and he was
Your grandpa, huh?
Yes, this was my grandfather on my dad's side.
So did you find out what he was doing?
No, I don't talk to him, and nobody.
I mean,
else
how did you find out what he did?
I know a lot of people out here. I talk to people that talk to me about.
Oh, from somebody else.
Yeah, I'm always talking to people out here. Some of them are here for their own reasons that they're not going to tell me, and that's okay. A lot of them will kind of just. Information comes to me, Some people, they come out here, they spy. They're trying to figure out what's going on here. Why they have so many former child sex traffickers out here that used to be, they used to call each other.
So you think this group, this movement is behind this?
Well, it's not really. I put it this way. I talked to two people. One, he was called the pastor. Okay, he called himself the pastor.
From a church?
No. He preached to the girls who were being raped every day in there.
Why you say pastor if he's not from church?
He called himself a pastor.
Oh, okay. So
Well,
it can be fake one.
Yeah, no, and the whole thing.
Anybody can claim who they are. Yeah.
Exactly. No, this guy. At some point, I asked him because he showed up with a Temple of Set member, and the kid just has a look. They have a look. Okay.
Wait a minute. He's from that group?
Two of them came up.
So what he's doing is deceiving people.
No, listen. They don't care about any kind of ideology. They just want to rape kids. That's it. And so when their friends go missing, because they kill each other because they can't be caught. That's
so how do they find the kids to do the crime with?
From members, or not members necessarily. They call them level 4s. Just be like.
Do they set some kind of plan?
It's a breeding. There's breeding programs too. It's evolved over the years. Back when, I think they used to just kidnap kids, which is horrifying.
Yeah, we have so many people kidnapped.
Yeah. Nowadays it's much less common. I mean, dude. But they're enslaved. These kids are called. They're told they're slaves. Okay, and they call them level 1s, and they have everything stolen from them. They're essentially kept in large. I mean, they're not basements. They're underground facilities, literally underground. And it has its own ecosystem. When some of the old girls get old enough, they're impregnated. Not by the customers or the men that are. And again, this isn't going on right now. These are inoperable. But this was going on up until about 3.5 years ago. The Temple of Set had been pretty well shut down. Its rings were inoperable as well. They were moving kids around, but those kids weren't being abused. And those kids were being watched by intelligence services just didn't know exactly what to do with them. So rather than, putting them necessarily in an orphanage if they were young enough, that was an option. But sometimes they had, I wouldn't have wanted to be in their position and make those decisions for all the tea in China, because they had to know that these kids were around psychopaths. But
so those kids are kind of trapped in there.
Well, now those kids grow up quick. And I said those kids grow up quick, and because
they're still in prison or what?
No, definitely not. Just they're up
are
here.
Are they free?
Yes.
How did they
with
get
each other?
free?
No, we have to kind of light fires up under their asses, and I don't mean the kids, the adults that kind of move them around.
What do you mean by that? Because they were trapped and then they were kept abused, and then how did they set free?
Well, the abuse stopped, and we had just basically
they let them go.
They were followed around all the time. These people were made very, very clear.
They made them go, or
no? I'm assuming CIA and intelligence officers and whoever they were followed all the time. And I don't mean the kids, the adults, as well as the kids, because those adults were carrying around those kids. So what you do?
So where are they now?
They're in houses. They're just in houses. They're fed. They're everything. We keep track of them, and as many as we can.
Are they back to their homes, or they're on the street, or what?
No, none of them are on the street. The ones that are old enough, they're over 18. Some of them, they end up. These kids are very resourceful. You got to realize these are kids that some of them were thrown in.
Are they hiding?
No.
Because of the insecurity?
Well, yes and no, because some of these kids had never met an adult that wasn't a psychopath, that wasn't evil. They'd never met an adult like me, okay? They'd never met an adult like you that cared about somebody other than themselves.
So these stories are something you heard from others.
Well,
you haven't been witness, right?
When a victim passes away, they're on a watch list immediately. And that watch list, you could, the NSA, they have the capability, and the CIA, we have drones that can float over a city and keep track of an entire city, and these people were very connected, and they were very hard to get in trouble back in the day. Well, now it is impossible not to watch them because we have these technologies that just do it.
So how can we protect ourselves from these people?
You wouldn't have anything to worry about because you're an adult.
We're adults.
You're an adult, and
so they are not attacking us.
Well, no,
they're only focused on children.
Who's that? And a lot of them, the higher level members, they kill these kids. They would kill them
They use them and then they kill them.
Yes, and they do that.
So my interest, my question is, how did they pick them up from the first place?
Well, that's the thing. It grew up over the years to where they had breeding programs. The kids themselves.
Oh, you're talking about the orphans, right?
Huh?
They got the orphans and then
they're not orphans. They're
not.
They're a member.
They're kidnapped.
No, actually, even more. No, they're institutionalized. Their parents were Satanists. Okay.
Oh, they were the members of those satanic church.
Well, their parents aren't their parents. Their parents sell their kids to the church or give the kids to the church when they have them.
They do that?
Yes.
By agreement?
Essentially breeding farms. And
so, that is
I know, it's very
strange.
disturbing. It's very disturbing.
So what's in their mind?
Well,
what kind of parents want to do that?
There was a guy out here. Okay, I just seen Michael Aquino on Valley View and Chapman. And I went, thank God. He's one of the most evil men on the planet. Along with a couple other people that I've known. Personally, I've never seen them do anything. They know what they can and can't get away with around normal people. But that guy, that man, I got to scream at that man, you do not belong here. What are you? I was very offended because he knew why I was here. He knew it was for me.
But by the way, I'm sorry
no,
to cut you, but then because time. You okay?
Yeah. No, just yes, I'm okay. It just so I saw him in person. I'm sorry, I'll calm down. I apologize.
But yeah, that's okay because of time. Just want to make it a little short.
Yeah, and old Nick, there's another guy. He was skinning little girls, and he would ejaculate in his pants every
So
time.
is this done from
This,
individuals, like two people you're mentioning,
no, it's,
or is this from?
They used to set up in classrooms. In classrooms. You may hear.
I mean, you said they have a power. So what kind of is it? Kind of like a government power, or just financial power, or what? Or religious power, or what?
Not religious.
What makes them to do these things? You know?
They were kind of rebels from the political elite. So they knew politicians. They didn't want to be. They were not accepted in that. And that's a different thing altogether. I'm not getting into that because that doesn't.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of things going on, and I'm not really kind of understanding everything you say. But then, sounds very serious. Have you ever, talked to the police about this?
The police were.
There's some crime going on, so somebody has to.
I've talked to the FBI. I've sent contacts to the reports to the FBI. That's the only law enforcement agency I would ever work with. But I was immediately, somebody from the FBI almost immediately tried to blackmail me, which was with video I couldn't look at, and I told him, well, you should send that to your bosses. In fact, I sent a message to James Comey himself, the FBI director at the time. I just say, hey, listen, you need to look at what the video that they just sent me. And this was in 2015, around, I want to say June, and because I remembered something from my church I used to go to with my mother, and this was when I was like 10. No, not even 10.
So, what was their response?
Yeah, they didn't give me a response.
They didn't do anything?
No, yeah. That's the thing. And the police around here, they wouldn't have the resources, and what I realized anyway is even if the FBI did, even if they had a whole department on it, they would not have had the resources to take these people on. You would have died. We had to go directly to CIA and NSA and the Pentagon.
You think that they didn't believe you?
Believe me, I've shown them many things.
Okay.
And I've told them, I had a lot of memories, kind of that didn't seem at all.
Yeah.
Important at all at the time.
By the way, so you say you are with the family right now?
Yeah, and thank God they're safe.
You are not homeless.
No, definitely not.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Okay.
I know. This sounds really crazy. I mean, I didn't sleep at all last night.
You say you're here, for a living to make some money for food. What about your family? Your family that's supporting you?
Well, no, they let me stay there. I mean, I have to buy my own food. I have soy allergies.
But they let you to sleep there for free.
Well, they know the stuff that's going on. Not details, too many details, but they know.
Yeah, I know there is a Satanism around, and I think it's really, really evil and bad. We shouldn't.
But be careful,
be with them.
Dude. Whatever they have out here.
Yeah.
It was ran by Jeff Allen, which was they were Christians. No, they were also doing the same exact thing that the Temple of Set was doing, but they were saying they were doing it for God, and that these kids had.
That's another group.
Yeah, and they're very similar.
Yeah.
Different ways of mentally.
Okay, there could be
mental torture.
There could be more than those two.
Well, those.
By the way, like a Scientology, it's another kind of cult. They put it out there openly, right? What about these guys? These guys,
Temple of Set.
Do they usually put it out there?
Oh, Toby Keith, though. You know what? There's the Christian ring I was just talking about. They're actually. Country music, certain country music.
Like
figures.
what?
Toby Keith in particular. He's closely associated.
Toby who?
Toby Keith.
Okay.
Closely associated with some of those people.
It's not Toby Mac, right? Okay. By the way, so I guess you are kind of sensitive than other people on, this Satanism that is in the music or some kind of entertainment industry here.
People could worship a doorknob for all I care. Eventually, if they want to have a relationship with a higher power or God, I believe in God, yeah.
It's kind of obviously.
Something's been looking out for me.
Obviously, it's a money. It's a money. money is the God. Money is the God in this world, and then what's behind it that God is saying that's the devil. Devil is, he says, loving money is the root of the evil, right? And that's the spirit is the way that you can be destroyed.
To some of these people,
yeah, and the devil is using it.
To some of these people, I'm the devil himself, and I'm sorry, miss. I don't tell them I'm not. You know, because honestly, these are murderers. They're rapists.
You know,
and serial killers.
yes.
And I do. I'm like, you know.
If you know.
I don't tell them I'm not the devil. Put it that way. And
if you know.
I'm totally comfortable with them thinking that because, again, people can worship what they want.
Yeah. I concern because there's time. We gonna die.
Yeah.
We're gonna see God, the one true God, who's judge. He's gonna judge everybody, and then we can be sent to either heaven or hell, and then many of us not qualified to enter heaven.
Well, what they call these purgatory.
So. No, that's
no. That's what the Christian.
Yeah, it's not in the Bible, so you can't trust that.
No, I know. Well, check this out though. No, that's what I was telling you. We call it the purgatory caverns because these Christians, they had these kids born down there. Okay, in this large facility underground.
Well, that's
in North Dakota.
but then that's from Catholic.
I can tell you the location. Okay, where it's under. I can tell you in North Dakota. I forget. We just figured out the city that is operating in. I forget what it is. North Dakota. We were thinking Fargo. It was near that area. It's not Fargo.
Yeah, I'm talking. That's a,
no. But
if it's true,
they
that
tell
is
these kids. They tell these
awful.
kids. They tell these kids they're in purgatory. And
by the way, yes, I'm talking about the spiritual war in life after death. People gonna be locked up, and God is saying that we all human are born with the sins, and we are heading to hell when we die, and after death. And God doesn't want us to go there, so He's telling us that we need to go. We need to go to heaven, where God is at, and God says that Jesus is the only way because Jesus paid the price of our sins. We have sin. We cannot go to heaven, so that's why Jesus took care of our sins on the cross 2,000 years ago, and that was God's plan to save each one of us. So everybody is invited to heaven through Jesus. When you read the Bible, you know what I'm talking about.
Well, you should be very offended, Miss, by the people that are but you need to be very offended as a Christian by the people that are calling themselves Christian, and they're telling these kids that are born down there. That they're in purgatory and they did something horrible in their past life. And
you know what?
They were born, and then they ended up there.
I understand,
being raped.
but I would say those people are not true Christians.
No, obviously not.
Some people can say I love you, but then that doesn't mean that it's true, right?
Well, these poor kids I've talked
when
to
it's not matching with their actions. So that's what I'm saying. Some people tell lies. And they can use other people. They can use Jesus or God. You know what I'm saying? The Word of God. So you cannot say they are the Christians.
They couldn't have kids coming in and out. Because check this out, and this is the worst part about it, is they were ritually sacrificing these kids at 17 years old. That's why we call them the 17th name day ring. The purgatory caverns. And it's 17th name day. They cut your head off on your 17th name day. And that means, they're almost an adult. So they don't make as much money. And at 17 years old, you're essentially an adult. So when you turn 17, they cut their heads off, and I've talked to a lot of the victims out here.
By the way, all crazy things happening in this world. What you're saying, it seems like hard to believe, but then I know it can happen. It can happen because God says in the Bible, God is saying the truth that most people ignore what He's saying. He's saying this world is evil and Satan is in it, and he's still working, and he's chasing after everybody to destroy them, So we have to listen to God. And are you with Jesus? You need Jesus like everybody else.
Not the Jesus that they believe in, okay? That's all
I'm talking about Jesus in the Bible. Because there are a lot of people change the Bible, and that's why they come up with the purgatory stuff. That's one of them. So, Jason, you need Jesus. Jesus is the only way.
I think He's got my back. And again.
But you have to choose Him and follow Him according to Bible. The way, not the way how you translate it. That's what I'm talking about. It's kind of noisy. So what I'm saying is,
what kind of Protestant are you? What kind
I don't really put much meaning in it, because I'm not limiting myself or God, with those doctrines. Okay, I go by the Bible. You can say non-denominational Christian. So what I'm focusing is I'm focusing on the Bible 100%. We can't
Yeah.
change it. We have to follow the
Well,
way
I have
it
to
is.
focus on making sure that these people go away for the rest of their lives. And
Yeah.
I'm not
So,
talking theology right now.
Yeah, I'm-
Because this is this is happening. I talk to people all day
Yes, I'm saying.
and do
so
a lot of work in putting
do-
these people away.
yeah, I understand. I understand. You're here.
And-
You're doing this to help somebody out, right?
God put me here for this. If there's a
Yes.
God who's looking out for
Yeah,
me,
I
He
know.
put me here to do this.
Somebody gotta tell the truth.
These
You'll
people
be
are very,
safe too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm
Okay,
always safe.
thank you then.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.